In this video, we'll be taking a look at one NFL game happening on October 2nd, 2023, and providing you with a free team pick and total pick for this game. So 2 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on this one NFL game after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Seattle Seahawks versus New York Giants. It's the final game of Week 4 of the NFL season as a pair of teams from the National Football Conference do battle on the gridiron in the Garden State. The Seattle Seahawks are on the road as they make the cross-country trip to take on the New York Giants on Monday Night Football. Seattle comes in off a 37-27 home win over Carolina in their previous contest last Sunday, covering the line as a 4.5-point favorite. New York was drubbed 30-12 on the road by San Francisco back on September 21st in their previous game, failing to cover the line as a 10.5-point underdog. In the all-time regular season series between the teams, each team has won 10 games, though the Seahawks have won 5 of the last 6 matchups. That includes a 27-13 home win in the most recent matchup on October 30th, 2022. The Seattle Seahawks are undefeated at MetLife Stadium with 5 wins. They have beaten the Giants 3 times, the Jets once, and won the Super Bowl with Russell Wilson. If Seattle hopes to keep that trend alive, they will have to keep scoring like they have been recently. They scored 37 points in back-to-back games to defeat the Lions and Panthers. Seattle has been utilizing long drives and ball control. Through 3 games, their longest play is only 36 yards on a run from Kenneth Walker III. Walker III is the lead back for the Seahawks. He has 204 rushing yards on the season and all 4 of the team's rushing touchdowns. He is coming off his best game of the season as he ran for 97 yards and 2 touchdowns against Carolina. Geno Smith continues to revive his career in Seattle. He is connecting on 68.9% of his passes for 245.3 yards per game with 4 touchdowns to only 1 interception. Their top 2 receivers play different styles, as DK Metcalf runs more deep routes while Tyler Lockett does most of his damage on short routes. Noah Fant is a reliable tight end, but has just 97 receiving yards over 3 games. Seattle is allowing 29 points per game. Only the Giants, Bears, and Broncos are allowing more. Bobby Wagner still leads the defense. He has a team-high 33 tackles on the season so far. The Seahawks have generated just 5 sacks on the season so far, led by DT Jarran Reed with 2. Cornerback Tree Brown has Seattle's only interception on the year. The Giants played consecutive games on the other side of the country against the Cardinals and the 49ers. They came back from a 20-0 halftime deficit to defeat the Cardinals, then lost by 18 on the following Thursday in San Francisco. The offense is struggling to get going. Their 14 points per game is better than only the Jets, who average 14. Quarterback Daniel Jones spoke about his offense after the 49ers game, saying, and I quote, "We didn't execute, didn't take advantage of our opportunities. That's a good defense, a good team, and when you are playing good teams, you can't afford to do that. We didn't play well enough." End quote. Saquon Barkley is still working on returning from his sprained ankle suffered Week 2, leaving Matt Breida as the lead back. This does not mean he will be heavily used. Against San Francisco, the Giants only ran the ball 11 total times, and 2 of them were sneaks by Jones. Jones is completing 64.9% of his passes this season for 187.3 yards per game with a 2-to-4 touchdown interception ratio. Tight end Darren Waller has been the top target so far. He has 12 receptions for 132 yards, but has not found the end zone yet. Darius Slayton has been the most productive wide receiver with 9 catches for 109 yards. The Giants are giving up 33 points per game while only scoring 14 points. The Giants' defense is led by linebacker Micah McFadden. He leads the team with 26 tackles. The defensive box score for New York is not a pleasant sight. They only have 2 team sacks on the season and have not recorded an interception yet. The Giants rank 31st in scoring and 29th in points allowed. These deplorable statistics come from only 3 games, and 1 game was against the Cardinals. To pour more salt in the wound, their best player, Saquon Barkley, may still be out with a high ankle sprain. Even if Barkley plays, he is returning from a high ankle sprain, and this will limit his shiftiness and quickness in tight spaces. On the other side, the Seahawks are quietly the 4th highest scoring team in the league. Geno Smith has been limiting his mistakes. He only has 1 interception on the year and knows how to utilize the strengths of Metcalf and Lockett. Kenneth Walker III is coming off his best game of the season and will be able to pick up yards against this New York front line. The Giants have played, realistically, 2 good quarters out of the 12 they've had this season. That's not a recipe for success against any team, which is a major problem for them in a tough National Football Conference East where they are looking up at everyone else. While Seattle is dealing with their share of injuries, they are getting some key pieces trending in the right direction. Rick Woolen and Jamal Adams were full participants in practice Friday and should be in action here. That will bolster the defense, especially when you're facing a Giants offensive line that has had issues protecting Jones. Jones is 1-11 in primetime games as a starting quarterback, the worst record of any quarterback post-merger. Throw in the Giants have dropped 7 straight Monday night games and that the Seahawks have had their number of late to tilt the scales against the hosts. The Seattle Seahawks aren't off to the best start in the world, and their defense has serious work to do. The New York Giants are at home and have had extra time to prepare after not playing since last Thursday. I somewhat get this line. However, the Giants' offensive line isn't good and it's now battling injuries. Daniel Jones is back to being a turnover machine, and he still won't have his security blanket in Saquon Barkley. Defensive troubles or not, a strong argument can be made the Seahawks are the better team here. Also, we know Geno Smith will be motivated after the Giants let him walk after 2017. With all that said, I get it. These don't look like last year's Giants. After 2 beatdowns against the class in competition and an eke-out win against Arizona, the shine has very much come off the G-men. But hear me out. For 2 of the first 3 games this season, Daniel Jones was without his stud left tackle, Andrew Thomas. He's set to make his return on Monday night, and this offense will look a whole lot different if he's in the lineup. Jones just hasn't had any time in the pocket in his absence, and it's going to be hard for any quarterback in the NFL when that's the case. They're also tracking to get back their starting left guard Ben Bredeson, who missed last week's game against San Francisco. Those are 2 much-needed boosts to a Giants offensive line that's been ravaged this season. Star running back Saquon Barkley also logged a limited practice on Thursday, which is yet another encouraging sign, especially with a longer week. Seattle's output is probably also not as good as it looks on paper, considering they're coming off a game against the Panthers in which the Carolina defense sustained some injuries in-game. It also wouldn't surprise me if head coach Brian Daboll takes a bit more control of the play calling given how delicate the situation is for his team. The Giants need to do a better job of protecting Jones. Likewise, they also have to establish the running game. It might be difficult to do without Barkley, but they have to figure out a way. Jones has passed for 562 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions with a 64.9% completion percentage. Additionally, he has rushed 24 times for 107 yards and a touchdown. Barkley has rushed 29 times for 114 yards and a score while catching 9 passes for 41 yards in 2 games. Unfortunately, he likely won't play, and Breda must take the reps. But the Giants have some weapons at their disposal they can implement on the offensive side. Ultimately, Waller has 12 receptions for 132 yards but has not scored with the Giants yet. Slayton has 9 receptions for 109 yards, but he also has yet to score this season. Therefore, the offense needs them both to give them a jolt. The defense has 1.5 sacks, yet they do not have an interception yet. Bobby Okereke has 15 solo tackles to lead the team. Xavier McKinney has added 13 solo tackles. Thus, look for these 2 to be all over the field as they try and power up the defense. The Giants will take care of business in this one if they can run the ball efficiently. Then, they need to force Smith to pass. With the offense finally getting healthy and the Seahawks having to go coast to coast, this is a spot for the Giants to get things right. So the New York Giants to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The Seahawks have gone over the total in their past 2 games, and their offense will be the driving force in this one. They have scored 37 points in consecutive weeks, and the Giants are currently playing some of the worst defense in the league. Seattle just gave up 27 points to the Panthers and Andy Dalton. Daniel Jones will use his legs to stretch drives and find ways to score. The Giants will be prepared to play without Barkley and will come up with a new game plan to score more than the 12 points they put up last week. The Seahawks ranked 29th in the NFL in team defense and just gave up 27 points at home to Andy Dalton, and that was the fewest points they've allowed all season. They're also 31st against the pass. The Giants, on the other hand, are 30th in the NFL in points allowed, giving up 33 points per game. It's possible that Geno Smith and Daniel Jones trade red zone turnovers all night, but the Giants have yet to come up with a takeaway this season. New York has not played well against the 49ers and the Cowboys, which is expected. but they nearly lost to Arizona in their second game. The Seahawks have won 2 games in a row, and while their defense has struggled, the offense has been very good. Seattle has allowed 27, 31, and 30 points in their first 3 games, so this is an opportunity for the New York offense to move the ball. I think the Seattle offense will continue their strong play, but I also expect Jones and the Giants offense to score plenty points. I think both offenses are going to find success early and often in this matchup. You've got 2 teams here that really just can't get stops. Both teams will try to outscore each other as each defensive unit struggles to get stops. This has track meat written all over it. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.